Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti, Pavan, Janardan, Maharaj, he
Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Rana Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Sya Om Jnana Timaranda Shagyana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bisam Supurakam Guraganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Samastaveda Nipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwaguruncha Divyat Bhagavat Premna Ebija Pranam Devam Divyatanum Suchandabananam Balarka Chelan Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishwara Shridaram Mancha Kopatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're continuing with our reading of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindaban Das Thakur. This is the Antya-khanda, chapter 3, Mahaprabhu's deliverance of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, exhibition of his six-armed form, and journey to Bengal. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gunadam Jaya Jaya Nityananda Swarupera Pran. All glories to Shri Krishna Chaitanya, the reservoir of all divine qualities. All glories to the life and soul of Nityananda Swarup. Jaya Jaya Vaikunta Nayaka Kripa Sindhu Jaya Jaya Nyasi Churamani Dina Bandhu. All glories to the Lord of Vaikunta, who is an ocean of mercy. All glories to the crest jewel of all sannyasis and friend of the poor. Seshakanda Katabai Shuna Ekchite Shri Goranga Chandra Vihari Lajanan Mate. O brothers, hear with attention the topics of the Antya-khanda, wherein Sri Gaurachandra's pastimes are described. Amrita Shri Gaurangarakata Brahma Shiva Jayamrita Banshena Sarvata. The topics of Sri Gauranga are the essence of all nectar. Such nectar is always desired by personalities like Brahma and Shiva. The topics of Sri Gaura are the most relishable of all nectar, since these topics are not influenced by temporary time factors like birth and death. These eternal topics are worshipable and desired by personalities like Brahman and Shiva. In the Mundaka Upanishad it is stated, Tamme Vaikam Janata Atmanam Anya Vacho Vimun Shatam Ritash Yaisha Setu. Know that he is the all-pervading super-soul. Give up talking of anyone else. He is the bridge to immortality. Ateva Shri Chaitanya Katara Shavane Sabara Santosha Hoy Dushtaganam Bine. Therefore, simply by hearing topics of Sri Chaitanya, everyone except the miscreant becomes pleased. The topics of Sri Chaitanya please everyone except unfortunate, wicked people, because by hearing topics of Sri Chaitanya, living beings attain knowledge of Krishna, service to Krishna, and love for Krishna. Shuna Sesha Kanda Kata Chaitanya Rahasya Ihara Shavane Krishna Paiba Avasya. Here are the confidential topics of Lord Chaitanya described in the Antya-khanda, for by hearing these topics one will certainly attain Krishna. Henamate Shri Gora Sundar Nilachale Atmas Sangopana Koriache Kutuhole. In this way, Shri Gora Sundar concealed his identity while happily residing in Nilachala. Jaditiho Bhyaktana Korana Apanare Tabe Kara Shaktiache Tare Janibare. Who has the power to know him if he does not reveal himself? Daibi ek din Sarvabhauma Sahite Masilena Prabhutane Loya Nibrite. By the arrangement of providence, the Lord one day sat down in a solitary place with Sarvabhauma. Prabhu Bole Shuna Sarvabhauma Mahashai Tomare Koheje Ami Apana Ridoy. The Lord said, "Listen, Sarvabhauma Mahashai, let me reveal my heart to you. Jagannath Dekite Je Ailana Ami Udeshyamara Mula Eta Achatumi." Although I came to see Jagannath, my main purpose here was to meet you. Jagannath Amariki Kohibena Kata Tumise Amarabanda Chindive Sarvata. Will Jagannath speak to me? It is you who will completely destroy my material bondage. Tomate se Vaishe Shri Krishnara Purna Shakti Tumi se Divare Para Krishna Prema Bhakti. You are fully empowered by Lord Krishna, so you are able to award one loving devotional service to Krishna. Realizing that Sarvabhauma's desire for the four objectives of life was simply deceitful, Sri Gora Sundar also deceitfully told him that he had come to Nilachala to take instruction from Sarvabhauma, and that Sarvabhauma had the power to bestow on one loving devotional service to Krishna. So apparently this is some tricky language that's going on. Mahaprabhu was saying he's come to hear from Sarvabhauma, but in the purport it's mentioned that Sarvabhauma is caught up with the four objectives of life that are all mundane: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. They are dharma, knowledge of the Vedas, but only for understanding some formal idea of religiosity. And why follow religiosity? It's to be able to advance in economic acquisition, thinking that if one does pious activities or observes the scriptures piously, then one will be able to make money, achieve happiness. Dharma, artha is to advance economically, that the Lord will favor one with economic advancement, and then one will be able to, kama, enjoy life, and ultimately, when everything is ending towards the end, one can take to religiosity for obtaining liberation or salvation. And these are all considered mundane objectives. So Mahaprabhu is speaking to, I came here to Jagannath Puri only superficially with the idea of coming to see Jagannath. And then he says, will Jagannath speak to me? It is simply you who will completely destroy my material bondage. You are fully empowered. Mahaprabhu tells Sarvabhauma, you are fully empowered by Lord Krishna, so you are able to award one loving devotional service to Krishna. Eteke tomara ami loinu ashrai tahakura je rupe amara balohoy. Therefore I take shelter of you. Do whatever you consider is beneficial to me. Eteke tomara ami loinu ashrai tahakara je rupe amara balohoy. Therefore I take shelter of you. Do whatever you consider is beneficial to me. Kibiri koriba mui takiba ki rupe jemadena paron mui e samsara kupe. What rules and regulations should I follow? How should I live? Please instruct me so that I do not fall into the well of material life. Sabu padesha murakaha amajai, amise tomarahoy jana sarvatai. Please instruct me without reservation. Know for certain that I am a soul surrendered to you. Emate aneka prakare maya kori Sarvabhauma prate kohilena gorahari. In this way, Gorahari used various means to delude Sarvabhauma while speaking to him. Najaniya Sarvabhauma Ishwarer Marma Kohite Lagila Jay Jivera Jatadharma. Without realizing the Lord's intention, Sarvabhauma began to speak about the religious duties of living entities. Sarvabhauma Bolan Kohila Jatatumi Sakala Tomara Balo Vashilama Ami. Sarvabhauma said, I appreciate everything you have said. Jaitomara Hoyache Bhaktira Udai Anyanta Apurvase Kohile Kabunoi. The devotion has awakened in you is certainly most wonderful and beyond description. Krishna Kripa Hoyache Tomarupare Sabe Ek Koriacha Nahe Byabahare. You have attained Krishna's mercy, but you have done one thing that is improper. Parama Subudhi Tumi Hoya Apane Tabe Tumi Sannyasa Korilaki Karane. Although you are most intelligent, why did you take sannyas? Sarvabhauma said, O Krishna Chaitanya, you have attained Krishna's mercy and you are most intelligent. So why did you take sannyas? What qualification do you have to take sannyas? You are too young. Personalities like Madhavendra Puri have taken sannyas, but they have done so after maturely enjoying material life. Before accepting sannyas, you should have particularly considered that everyone respects a sannyasi as a member of the topmost ashram. Since you have accepted Vaishnava principles, which entail becoming humbler than a blade of grass, what need was there to become a candidate for receiving the highest respect found in social etiquette? Giving up Giving up the Sikha and Brahman thread is an example of pride. It is simply the desire to ascend to the highest level of fame. A person following Vaishnava principles should offer obeisances to a dog eater, a cow, and an ass, and he should not accept respect from anyone. Mayavadi sannyasis in particular consider themselves equal to the Supreme Lord, who is the creator, maintainer, and annihilator. Therefore they are most foolish and unworthy sons. But he says, although you are most intelligent, why did you take sannyas? You're too young. Bujadeki vicharya kiyache sannyase pratame badahoy ahangarapashe. Just consider what is the use of accepting sannyas. One immediately becomes bound by the ropes of false ego. So it is for sure. I took sannyas when I was very young. That taking sannyas when one is young, being young, there always are some tests or obstacles in attaining, in going forward. It is true. Normally, people take sannyas when they're much older, but that's a very mundane consideration. You can't do anything without some endeavor. Nothing can be done without endeavor. Danda dorin mahagyana hoya apanare kahareo bole jora hastanahi kare. One who carries the danda considers himself a great person and does not fold his hands before anyone. So yes, and they call a sannyasi is called Maharaj, which means great king. So one who carries a danda considers himself a great person and does not fold his hands before anyone. Jara para duli loite bedara vihita hena jani namaskare tabe tabu nahe Bita, meaning one gets so much respect and one does not offer respect to others. Doesn't even bother to offer the respect to others. A sannyasi is not afraid to accept obeisances from such a personality that the Vedas declare the dust of his feet should be respected. Hangara dharma e kabu balo nahe, bhuja e bhagavate, jenamate kahe. False ego is never good. Try to understand the words of Srimad Bhagavatam in this respect. Praneb dandava bhumav vasha swa chandala gokaram pravishto jiva kalaya tatraiva bhagavaniti. Realizing that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as a supersoul, one should offer obeisances before all, even the dogs, outcast cows and asses, falling flat upon the ground like a rod. Sarvabhauma is saying, but sannyasis don't offer these obeisances to everyone. They sometimes will fold their hands, sometimes, but they're not, but they're getting so much respect and they become proud. This is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's observation. Brahmanade kur chandala antakori dandavat kori beka bahu manya kori. You should offer full obeisances to all living entities, including the Brahmins, dogs, and dog eaters. Ese Vaishnava Dharma Sabare Pranati Se Dharma Dwaji Jara Ite Nahirati. Vaishnava etiquette is to offer respects to everyone, but one who is a hypocrite has no attachment for this. There's some truth in what Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, but there is also some qualification in this respect. Mahaprabhu says, Trinada pisunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. That one should offer, one should be more humble than a blade of grass in the street or straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree. One should offer respect to others without asking for respect in return. But Sarvabhauma's advice has a tinge of Mayavad in it, and that he's saying, and he does have at this time somewhat of an impersonal conception. You should offer full obeisances to all living entities, including the Brahmins, dogs, and dog eaters. And Guru Maharaj says, one should respect all living entities. But does that mean if a dog is coming into the temple, you should say, oh, my dear dog, you're very welcome, offer obeisances to him? Of course not. You'll grab a stick and chase the dog out of the temple. So he's saying you should offer obeisances even to dogs and dog eaters. Which, okay. Se Vaishnava Dharma Sabare Pranati Se Dharma Dwaji Jara Ite Nahirati. Vaishnava etiquette is to offer respects to everyone, but one who is a hypocrite has no attachment for this. Shika Sutra Guchaya Sabi Elab Namaskara Kori Asi Mahabag. The only gain the only gain in giving up one's Sika and Brahman thread is that respectable people offer one their obeisances. So he says it just becomes a matter of some show, and you receive so much respect for this. Of course, Vaishnava sannyasis, they don't cut off their Sika and they don't give up their Brahman thread. They continue using that. But during Mahaprabhu's times, this was one of the factors involved in taking sannyas, which was predominantly Mayavadi sannyas. Mahaprabhu is looking externally like he's of that order, but he's not by his activities. But Sarvabhauma says, you've given up your Sika and you've given up your Brahman thread. The only gain about that is that people will now offer you obeisances. Pratame shuniye ek apacheya ebe arashuna sarvanasha buddhighaya This is the first loss in accepting sannyas. Now we'll hear about the other loss by which one's intelligence becomes polluted. Jivara swabhava dharma ishvara bhajan tahachari apanare boli narayan. The constitutional duty of the living entity is to worship the Supreme Lord, but after taking sannyas, one gives up that worship and calls himself Narayan. So that's also that the Mayavadi sannyasis are principally think that now I've taken sannyas, I become as good as God. And they're very, to use the words of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada would say, they're very puffed up. Gorabase je Ishwara Korilena Raka Jahara Prasade Hoila Buddhi Jnana Shikha. The Supreme Lord protects the living entity when he is within the womb of his mother. By the Lord's mercy, that living entity obtains intelligence and knowledge. So just like Supreme Lord protects the living entity when he is within the womb of his mother. By the Lord's mercy, that living entity obtains intelligence and knowledge. Sarvabhauma is saying, just like the Lord protects a baby when he's in the womb of his mother, so outside the womb, the Lord is also protecting one. He's also giving one intelligence and knowledge how to carry on in life. Jaradasya lage sesha agya bhavaram payo nirabari korana kaman. Jaradasya lage sesha agya bhavarama payo nirabari korana kamana shristi stiti pralay jahara dashe kore lajanahi hena prabhu bole apanare nidra hoile apane ke ihau na jane apanare narayana bole hena jane jagatera pita krishna sarva bede koi pitare se bhakti kore jay suputra hoy. Ananta says Brahma, Shiva, and the goddess of fortune always desire to obtain the service of the Supreme Lord, whose servants carry out the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material manifestation. Yet the shameless sannyasi claims to be that Supreme Lord. A sannyasi claims to be Narayan, even though he does not know who he is when he sleeps. The Vedas declare that Krishna is the father of the entire universe, and the obedient son will respect his father. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying that the Mayavadi sannyasis, of which he takes Mahaprabhu to be of that order, they're always claiming to be Narayan. They think they've become as good as the Lord himself. So this is a Mayavad understanding, that Mayavad thinks that one of their sayings is Tattvamasi. You are that. You are equal to the Lord. But this is an improper understanding of divinity. Mahaprabhu's philosophy is Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, which means simultaneously one with and at the same time different. Because obviously there's a difference of size, of magnitude. So we can say, we are like the Lord in the sense that the Lord is Satchidananda. The Lord is eternal, the Lord is conscious or has knowledge, and that also the Lord is by nature happy. That divinity is happy, marked by happiness. And the living entity also, in his pure state of existence, is understanding, of course. Sat, we are eternal living entities. Chit, we are knowledgeable. And Ananda, the soul is by nature happy. But there is also a difference in magnitude, difference in size. The Lord is infinite, and we are infinitesimal. And that's why the infinitesimal living entity can be covered over by illusion. But the Lord himself cannot be covered over by illusion. So this is the difference. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is right in telling that usually the sannyasis will think that I am Sarvabhauma is criticizing Mahaprabhu for having taken sannyas. He tells Mahaprabhu, first of all, you were too young. And what happens when one takes sannyas? Then he gets respect from everyone and he becomes falsely proud. The sannyasi becomes very falsely proud. He won't offer obeisances to anyone. And he won't even fold his hands. That's what Sarvabhauma says. The sannyasi, especially a young sannyasi, too young to take sannyas, and becomes very proud after having taken sannyas, because everybody offers him respects, garlands, and he's Sarvabhauma says, and the sannyasi doesn't respect anyone, he doesn't even fold his hands before anyone. But then he reveals a little bit of his Mayavad, we'll say impertinence, because he says one should offer respects to the Brahmins, to the dogs, to the dog eaters. But Srila Guru Maharaj says, this is carrying it the idea. In theory we can understand, but Guru Maharaj says, does that mean if a dog comes into the temple, we'll welcome him? No, we'll chase the dog off. It's not that we're just, oh, my dear dog, please, you're most worshipful. We're not doing it like that. And then the other thing, Sarvabhauma says, that the sannyasi starts calling himself and others, under sannyasis, Narayan. That's Mayavad sannyasis. Of course, Mahaprabhu at the time he's removed the Sikh and Brahmin thread, so Sarvabhauma said, why does one remove a Sikh and Brahmin thread? Just to falsely get respect from others. And he says, then they call themselves Narayan, and he says, what was the previous verse we read? He says, Ananta, Sesha, Brahma, Shiva, and the goddess of fortune always desire to obtain the service of that Supreme Lord whose servants carry out creation, maintenance, and destruction in the material manifestation. Yet the shameless sannyasi claims to be that Supreme Lord. A sannyasi claims to be Narayan, even though he does not know who he is when he sleeps. The Vedas declare that Krishna is the Father in the entire universe, and the obedient son will respect his Father. So, there is some valid criticism here, in that the Mayavadi sannyasis, they suddenly think that they're as good as the Lord, Aham Brahmasmi, or Om Narayan, I become Narayan himself. They're referring to each other in that way. Pitahamasya jagato matadata pitamaha. I'm the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. So this is the position of the Lord. Gita Shastre Arjunera Sannyasa Karan Shune Jaha Kohiyache Narayana. Now hear what Narayan said to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita about renouncing one's duty, about sannyas. Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karotiya sasanyasi cha yogi cha na niragnirna chakriya. One who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life. And he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. So, this way, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, to Mahaprabhu, you're very advanced and you have attained a high level of devotion, but you have made one very glaring mistake, that you have taken sannyas. This is very wrong, he tells Mahaprabhu. Nishkama hoya kore jai Krishna bhajan tahare se boli jogi sannyasi lakan. One who worships Krishna without any selfish desires is called a yogi and a sannyasi. So that can be one, that's on the basis of qualities, not some formality of accepting sannyas. Vishnu kriyana korile parana kaile kachuna he sakate e Vede Bole. The Vedas clearly state that if one does not worship Vishnu and depends on others for his food, he cannot make any advancement. The phrase Vishnu Kriya refers to the worship of Hari. Accepting sannyas devoid of devotional service to Vishnu is like depending on others for one's food. It is useless. The perfection of activities is to attain love of God, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Nehayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirtapada sevaya jivanapi mrito isa. Anyone whose work is not meant to elevate him to religious life, anyone whose religious ritualistic performances do not raise him to renunciation, and anyone situated in renunciation that does not lead him to devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead must be considered dead, although he is breathing. And Sarvabhauma continues. In the Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Tat karma hari toshanam yat savidyat tanmatiri yaya harer dehabritam atma swayam prakritir ishvara. One's only activities should be those that can please the personality of Godhead, and education should be such that one becomes elevated to Krishna consciousness. Since Sri Hari is the super soul of all living entities who have accepted material bodies within this world, he is the supreme cause and controller of everything. So Sarvabhauma is speaking as a learned person, but one thing we can certainly see immediately from his conversation is that he doesn't know at all who Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. He's giving him some instructions. Oh, this is very dangerous, and sannyasis are wrong like this, and they're very proud, and they want worship from others, and they forget who they are, and they don't offer obeisances to other living entities, and they have no actual spiritual. And it's like going on like this, and maybe in some cases this kind of criticism of a sannyasi, especially a young sannyasi, could have some validity, but it's foolish, and even ourselves, we will fall into error if we think of others in this way that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is doing, because it's not seeing that it's not seeing the divine arrangement, for one thing. Who has given one sannyas? It's Gurudev that's given one sannyas, and why he's done so. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur established sannyas, as Srila Guru Maharaj said, because he wanted generals in his army. He wanted those who were capable of giving some leadership. So for that reason otherwise, as far as giving up the Brahman thread, we don't give up the Brahman thread when we take sannyas, and we don't give up our Sikha. And on the contrary, through Srila Saraswati Thakur, through Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Brahman threads are given to persons for service who weren't born in Brahmin families. So it's not only not giving up the Brahmin thread, it's giving Brahmin threads. So Tahare se bodhidharma karma sadachar ishvare se priti janme sanmata sabar. Real religious principles, activities, and proper codes of conduct are those by which one develops love for the Supreme Lord. Tahare se bodhi vidyam mantra adyayan Krishna parapadme jay koreye sthiraman. Real education, chanting of mantras, and study of the scriptures are those by which one fixes one's mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. Sabara jivana Krishna janaka sabar hena Krishna jaina bhaje sarva vyartatar. Krishna is the life and father of everyone. Everything is useless for one who does not worship Krishna. So here Sarvabhauma is speaking to Mahaprabhu. At least we'll see where the conversation goes. But at least in the Chaitanya Charitamrita it also explains, or a little bit of variance in there, and that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya just talks and talks for 7 days, explaining impersonal conception of life. But on the Mahaprabhu sits there silent, doesn't say a thing. On the 8th day, Sarvabhauma says, I can't tell whether you understand or not because you don't ask any questions. You don't reveal whether you're understanding or not. And then Mahaprabhu reveals his mind and he says, you're right. I practically didn't understand anything you said. Then Sarvabhauma says, well, I'm explaining the Vedanta Sutra that should be learned by sannyasis. If you don't understand the Vedanta Sutra, why don't you ask some questions? Then Mahaprabhu says, well, the problem is I understand the Vedanta Sutra perfectly. It's self-evident, it's self-luminous. But it appears your explanations, which are based on an impersonal conception of life, they're just trying to cover over the meaning of the Vedanta Sutra, which is also revealed in all the Upanishads. In all the Vedic scriptures, there is parallelism, there is same purpose going on. But you appear like a cloud trying to cover the sun. That's. When Sarvabhauma asks, why don't you ask any questions if you don't understand the scriptures? Then Mahaprabhu says, I understand the scriptures. It's you that I don't understand. Your explanations are confusing and they don't really give the real meaning of what you're explaining of the scriptures. So this is Mahaprabhu's position, and from there he goes forward and there's some conversation, whereas Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's false pride and his Mayavad impersonal explanations and self-importance, everything becomes reduced to nothing, and then he understands that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord himself. But he goes through this. Here, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is speaking, and this same conversation about the taking sannyas too young and all that, it also occurs, but it's more in a conversation with Gopinath Acharya. He says, he's too young, but I will try to help him by explaining to him the real meaning of the scriptures. I will be like a good father for him and educate him. And then Gopinath Acharya says, you don't know who he is. He's the Supreme Lord. Then Sarvabhauma says, what? Don't come on with this kind of talk. You know, there's no Lord appearing in Kali Yuga. He doesn't come in this age. And then Gopinath Acharya says, you pretend to know the scriptures, but don't you understand that there are Yuga avatars that appear in all the 4 Yugas? Mahaprabhu is a Yuga avatar. What do you mean there's no Yuga avatar for Kali Yuga? What is the prince? He comes in a yellow color. Yuga avatars come in white, red, black, and yellow. And the color, the Yuga avatar for this age is yellow. He is Pita, of Pita color. You don't understand that? And Sarvabhauma says, well, how are we to understand that you understand, but I don't understand? Why should it be? How is it that you understand and I don't understand? Then Gopinath Acharya says, to one who the Supreme Lord reveals himself and gives his mercy, that person will understand. So he's basically telling Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, I understand. And then Sarvabhauma says, well, what's the evidence for that, what you're saying? Then Gopinath Acharya says, even though he's standing before you, even though he's in your house, you can't recognize him, but I can. That's the evidence. That I can see him for who he is, but you can't. Sarvabhauma says, what's the evidence? You've received the mercy of the Lord and I haven't. Because I know who he is, I can see him. And you, even though he's in your house and standing before you, you don't know who he is. That's the evidence that you haven't received the mercy of the Lord. So Sarvabhauma is real, oh, come. He's not able to accept that at all. And that's what goes on here. Sarvabhauma is telling Mahaprabhu in his introductory remarks that you made a big mistake when you took sannyas, okay? Then, okay, here, and he reveals, this is. Vishnu kriya na korile parana kwaile kichunahi sakate ebede bole. The Vedas clearly state that if one does not worship Vishnu and depends on others for his food, he cannot make any advancement. One's only activities should be those that can please the personality of God, and an education should be such that one becomes elevated to Krishna consciousness. Since Sri Hari is the super soul of all living entities who have accepted material bodies within this world, he is the supreme cause and controller of everything. Tat karma haritoshanam yat sav vidya tanmatir yoga harir deha britam atma swayam prakriti ishvara. Dahare se boli dharma karma sadachar ishvare se priti janme samata sabar. Real religious principles, activities, and proper codes of conduct are those by which one develops love for the Supreme Lord. Dahare se boli vidya mantra adyayan Krishna para padme jay koreye stirman. So this is Sarvabhauma speaking. Real education, chanting of mantras, and study of the scriptures are those by which one fixes his mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. Sabar jivana Krishna janaka sabar hena Krishna jena bhaje sarva vyartatar. Krishna is the life and father of everyone. Everything is useless for one who does not worship Krishna. Jadi bolo shankarer mata sehanahe tara abhiprayadasha tare muke kohe. If you say that the philosophy of Shankaracharya does not agree with this, then I will quote his words to prove that he desired the service of the Lord. So Sarvabhauma is saying. Let's see. Although Shankaracharya did not openly say that worship of Krishna is the eternal duty of the living entities, he considered himself like a wave of the ocean. A wave is not the ocean. This was his conviction. Suppressing the dualities or conditional state of the material world does not mean liberation. Actual liberation entails renouncing one's unconstituted. Why don't you go up with her? What? Show her where to go. Okay, good. Well, you could have gone up with her. That was what I was saying. Jadi bolo shankarer mata sehanahe tara abhiprayadasha tare muke kohe. If you say that the philosophy of Shankaracharya does not agree with this, then I will quote his words to prove that he desired the service of the Lord. Although Shankaracharya did not openly say that the worship of Krishna is the eternal duty of the living entities, he considered himself like a wave of the ocean. A wave is not the ocean. This was his conviction. Suppressing the dualities or conditional state of the material world does not mean liberation. Actual liberation entails renouncing one's unconstitutional position and becoming situated in one's constitutional position. Therefore, even in some parts of Shankaracharya's philosophy, aversion to devotional service is not seen. Shankara's followers, who cannot understand his intentions, proudly identify themselves as liberated souls on the strength of their eternal dress, actually giving up external signs like the Sheik and Brahman thread is not the basis for devotional service. Giving up the Sheik and Brahman thread while accepting Ekadanda sannyas is also not the basis for devotional service. Devotional service to Krishna becomes enhanced by acceptance of Tridanda sannyas, not by Ekadanda sannyas. After hearing these explanations of Sarvabhauma, Sri Gaurasundar became very pleased. So here in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, there's some speaking on Shankar, on Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's part, where he's saying that Shankaracharya also leads people to devotional service. Okay, text 48. Sri Shankaracharya stated as follows: Satyapi Veda Satyapi Veda Bhagame Nata Tabaham Na Mamakiyastvam Samudro Hi Taranga Kwa Chana Samudro Nataranga. O Lord, although the living entities in the Supreme Brahman are non-different, the living entities are subordinate to you. In other words, their existence is dependent on you. You, however, are never dependent on anyone. Although there is no difference between the ocean and its waves, the existence of the waves is dependent on the ocean. The ocean is never dependent on the waves. Sarvabhauma is saying this, and there's some, this is within the, he's quoting from the teachings of Shankaracharya that the living entity is subordinate to the Lord, and Mahaprabhu finds that and is pleased by that. But at the same time, Mahaprabhu obviously is not a follower of Shankaracharya philosophy. Jajapiya jagate ishvare vedanai sarvamaya paripurna ache sarvatai. Although there is no difference between the supreme world, although there is no difference between the Supreme Lord and this material world, he is present everywhere as the complete whole. Tabu toma hoite se hoyachi ami amahoite nahi kabu hoyacha to me. Still I have come from you, you have never come from me. Chena samudrara se taranga loke bole tarangara samudrana hoy kone koli. As people say, those waves of the ocean, they will never say the ocean of the waves, or the ocean of those waves. Ateva jagara tomar tumi pita ihaloke paraloke tumi se rakita. Therefore, you are the proprietor and father of the universe. You are the protector of this life and the next. So this is continuing. So it's getting a little late. I think we'll stop here, and tomorrow we'll continue. So we're in the third chapter of the Antya-khanda. There's 10 chapters in the Antya-khanda. These chapters are generally long in the Antya-khanda. And they give a little different understanding of the conversation between Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma. So here we're at the point where we're seeing that Sarvabhauma, Mahaprabhu has said, so you please instruct me, teach me, and at the same time bring me closer to devotional service. So Sarvabhauma is in his way saying that. And actually, Shankaracharya, he teaches about devotional service also. So that's one of the things he's saying here. But the very beginning is just telling Mahaprabhu practically, you are young, there's no use for you to have taken sannyas. Wasn't a good idea. All right. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna. Oh, I'm going to have... No. Me? Just because I started, you can do it. You see here, I have this on, and it'll be very loud, the kartals.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Gopal Govinda Ram Srimadusudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan
Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan
Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Radhadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raguna Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raguna Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jai Te Vignana Shabista Puran
Echai Gosai Jave
Eka Echai Gosai Jar Muitaradas
Tasavara Padarenu Mura Panchagra
Tasabara Pada Renu Mora Panchagra Hare Charana Sevi Bhakta Saniva Janame Janame More Abila Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilaba Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hare Bhaja Vrindaban Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Amajayya Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Nam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamada Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Gora Haribo Haribo Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyasta Tara Sada Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Kushamashram Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyasta Tara Sada Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Nirmala Charya Maharaj Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Tara Sadashi Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Tara Sadashi Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakakshira Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Srila Satchinananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunashi Jiva Gopal Bhattadashi Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindaban Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagawat Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Vishvavarenya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ramayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju Ki Jai. Shri Kadasi Upavas Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Sripad Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki Jai.
Sripad Bhakti Chandan Parvat Maharaj Ki Jai. Sripad Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.